Good morning. Just want to first thank everybody for coming out today on a very important day for us, not only just in Newark, the state of New Jersey, but around the country. I want to thank Honorable Mayor Wilder Diaz from Perth Amboy for being here with us today. Mayor Christine Dansereau of Roselle here to my right with us as well. Our council people, Council President Mildred Crump, Councilman Louis Quintana at large, and Councilman of the North Ward, Anibal Ramos, here with us as well. And I'm sure the entire Municipal Council is in support of our statements here today. I want to thank the entire clergy community, all of our religious representatives here, who of course stand with us in difficult times, all the times, and in good times. Most of the things that we do, we can't do without them. So we want to thank them for being here with us today, and thank Reverend Roundtree for assembling them. I want to thank Deputy Mayor Jacqueline Quiles, who's here with us as well. And we also have a mayor from Cote d'Ivoire with us as well. Come down here with us, sir, who is here with us as well. Thank you. A part of what we're doing. And I don't know if I mentioned Amol Sina from Executive Director from ACLU with us as well, standing with us in this most important issue. And Monica MacGyver just walked up from Central Ward, Councilwoman from the city of Newark. And I thought I saw Brittany Timberlake here. Did I see it? Right with us, Assemblywoman Timberlake with us as well. We're glad to have you. On the corner of my eye, I thought I saw you walk up. This is important for us here in this area, particularly in the state of New Jersey. New Jersey has one of the highest percentages of immigrants in the nation, and has several cities and towns that have declared themselves sanctuary cities. And since that time of declaring ourselves a sanctuary city, particularly here in the city of Newark, we've been witnessing more ICE activity in our community. In fact, in 2018, ICE has arrested over 3,000 people, which is a 7% increase from the previous year, which means they have stepped up their kind of enforcements in this area, which we believe are particularly due to the fact that we have declared ourselves a sanctuary city. We also want to say that what we believe that the President, Donald Trump, is doing is inhumane, it's wrong, and we are here to stand against that, and we want to provide support to our communities here in the city of Newark who may find themselves victimized by this administration. And so we want to do whatever we can to, again, make them feel safe, make them feel secure, and let them know that the folks of this community stand with them and stand with their families continuously, and we will continue to do so in difficult times like this. We know that the raids are not taking place today or yesterday because they're saying that there's a 2-week reprieve, but it does not mean that they will not happen. And so we want to stand against anything that suggests that they're going to come here to the city of Newark and arrest anybody or detain anybody from this community simply because they are not documented residents of this community. We think that everybody in the city of Newark is a resident, whether they documented or undocumented. And we believe that they should benefit from the services of our community, and we're going to continue to support and continue to service them and continue to protect them, but because we believe that any residents of this city deserve the protection and the sanctuary and the friendliness of the residents here in the city of Newark and the administration here. And hopefully I speak correctly by saying the county, and I speak correctly by saying the state of New Jersey as well, by saying we're going to protect our undocumented population here in this community. That being said, I'd like to bring the mayor of Perth Amboy, Wilder Diaz, on to make a few remarks.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you for hosting us and on such a critical issue that's affecting all our community. Today, as urban leadership comes together, we are collectively taking a stand against the forthcoming actions by the president. It is imperative that we inform our residents of their rights. We need to protect these children, every innocent, vulnerable child and their families. There are parents that are seeking a new life. Surviving in oppression is not a life. I recently read the American Civil Liberties Union. They released information to the public about protecting their families. And it was so glaring. One of the comments were if they asked to enter and if they had a warrant signed by a judge, not an ICE administrative warrant, and if so, to ask to see it through a window or slip it under the door. Again, how many of these immigrants and families that are going to be affected really would know what their rights are and the law? But everyone here knows how they would want to be treated. We could draw from our own humanity, the sense of well-being, right? The respect and love, the foundation of our nation. And we are here to send a message to our president that in our communities, everyone is welcome. In our communities, we have a sense that our residents, those that live in our communities, feel welcome and respected, and that everyone helps our nation build up our country. I joined Mayor Baraka because, and Mayor Desro and all the elected officials, because we understand what this means for our community and that we're all in it together and that we have to be that messenger and being the advocates and speaking up for our communities. And that's what we're doing here today. And I am going to be clear that we are here to defend those that live in our communities. They only help build up this nation and build up our cities. Thank you.
Just want to welcome also Councilman Augusto Amador from the East Ward, who's here with us today too. Mayor Roselle Christine Dancero.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And you know I was going to be here for you and all of us because this is a travesty. I consider it a terroristic threat. I think this administration delivers terror every chance they get to make people feel in our communities unsafe. That is unacceptable. Unacceptable. We made a decision almost immediately several years ago to make Roselle a sanctuary city amongst threats of funding that would be decreased to our citizens. Our police were on board with it. I really appreciate that because you do have to have their backing and support as well. We watched as beautiful children came to the microphone at our council meeting crying when this first came about, when they were talking about making their parents criminals and deporting them. People had lived in our community for years, working and contributing, and their children going through our schools, doing nothing but excelling. They were terrified that they would go home one day and find their parents missing. Again, unacceptable. So I stand in solidarity with everybody here today to say we will not tolerate this kind of action in the United States of America built on immigrants. No more. Thank you very much, and God bless.
I also want to mention that Leslie Tejada is here, project specialist from Senator Cory Booker's office, who, by the way, has been in communication with us in his support for this press conference today, and is doing what he can on a federal level to make sure we push against Donald Trump's raids, illegal raids, I might add, on our communities, particularly here in the state of New Jersey. So I would like to bring the executive director of ACLU up now.
Thank you, Mayor Baraka and the Urban Mayors Association for hosting this. Thank you for your partnership in defending the rights and the dignity of immigrants and their families. I'm Amol Sinha. I'm the executive director of the ACLU of New Jersey. And we at the ACLU stand alongside our partners gathered today to stand up against the unjust actions of the Trump administration, most recently these proposed inhumane raids and roundups. This threat from the president to unleash ICE in our cities goes further than raising serious constitutional concerns. It's contrary to the highest values we should strive to fulfill. We've seen what happens when the government spirits away immigrants, whether at the border or in our own backyard. The raids that the president has proposed mean several things. It means that more people are going to suffer from medical neglect. More people will have to choose between inedible food and going hungry. More people will experience the trauma and mental torment of being detained in solitary confinement. More people will endure the pain of wondering if they'll ever see their families again. There are countless other horrors. The president has waged a campaign of terror against immigrants since day one of his campaign. That assault sends ripples throughout all of New Jersey. It sends ripples across the United States, and it sends ripples throughout the world. That assault stops with us. This administration has made the destruction of the rights of immigrants the cornerstone of its agenda. The people affected by the raids planned for our state are New Jerseyans, and they're Americans, and it's our job to protect each other. We're all in this together. In our state, we have one of the most powerful measures to prevent local governments from participating in ICE's unjust, unconstitutional onslaught against our neighbors. Our parents, our community pillars, ourselves. And together, with partners like Mayor Baraka, advocates in our state government, will make sure that to use those powers to protect people who don't deserve the persecution they've borne or the fear they live with every single day of their lives. We'll do everything in our power to stop these hateful actions. We must fight all of this indignity together here in Newark, and we must create protections statewide to ensure that all people, regardless of their immigration status, are treated equally in our state. And that includes full funding for legal representation for people facing deportation, ending immigration detention, and access to driver's licenses for all people so that everyone who lives here can be a part of the fabric of our society. We're fortunate to stand with so many incredible advocates, officials, and community members who share that commitment. Thank you, everyone, for all your hard work, and thank you for standing on the front lines to fight against injustice.
I want to, at this time, bring up the Deputy Mayor, Community Engagement, Jacqueline Quiles.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to other mayors and dignitaries. My message is to our community. Repudiamos los ataques del presidente Trump a la comunidad indocumentada y a sus familias en todo Estados Unidos. Es un absurdo separar familias y causar temor en comunidades a través de todos los Estados Unidos. Estamos seguros que esta campaña anti-inmigrante del presidente Trump la está usando para su abertura de campaña política. Estamos y estaremos hoy y siempre apoyando a nuestra comunidad y nos comprometemos a protegerlos sin importar las acciones del presidente Trump y su administración. A la misma vez nos sentimos indignados por las tácticas usadas por el presidente Trump hacia inmigración y hacia las redadas planeadas que se llevarán a cabo en horas de la madrugada. Estas medidas son racistas y son inhumanas. Ya hemos visto el tratamiento horrible en los centros de detención, donde muchos de los detenidos duermen en pisos fríos de cemento. Les niegan comida, sus camas, hasta usar el baño. Y aún peor, niños son separados de sus padres y las personas adultas son tratadas miserablemente solo por querer darle una mejor vida a su familia. Estamos con nuestra comunidad indocumentada. Nuestro alcalde, Ross Baraka, está con ustedes y haremos todo lo que esté en nuestro poder para protegerlos. Muchas gracias.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. I want to thank all of the folks for coming out today. I didn't get a chance to also mention Senator Menendez, Freeholder President Brendan Gill, all of the folks who showed their support for everything that's happening here. today for our response to this. We do want to say finally that we believe that these efforts by the president is designed to break our resolve, to break the people of this community, the people of this country's resolve, to protect undocumented, protect the people in our communities. They have already stepped up their raids last year, the year before, as soon as we declared ourselves a sanctuary city. And most of the cities around the nation that have done the same, they have witnessed this kind of pressure from the United States government, under this administration. And we want to say that this will not break our resolve, but will make us come together even more, that we will become more and more focused on protecting our residents here in the city of Newark and around the state of New Jersey. So I'll answer any questions that the press has, please. Press. Yes.
There is an ICE jail in Newark, and I know you've written an op-ed.
You have to speak up. I'm sorry.
You've written an op-ed calling for the Essex County's relationship with the federal government to end. Would you still ask City Council to pass resolutions announcing the ICE jail in Newark?
You're saying, can I ask the city council?
Well, and would you want the contract with ICE to end?
Well, you already you stated about my op-ed. You stated that, right? So you already know what my position is. We here today pushing back against Donald Trump and his raids. You already know my position on the ICE jail. You have it. It's public. Next question. Anybody else have a question? No, from the press.
Mayor,
Yes.
I know that the ICE raids have been delayed by President Trump for 2 weeks. Does the delay cause even more concern now that it seems like pressure is starting to ramp even more now?
Does what? Say it
Oh,
again.
sorry. Are you more concerned now, even after the delay of the raids, or does the concern still remain the same as it was?
Yes,
maybe
it still
Friday?
remains the same. I mean, as I said earlier, they have already stepped up enforcement in this area the minute we declared ourselves welcoming in a city. But these raids speak to, I think, Trump's effort to push his agenda, which we believe is unconstitutional, we believe is inhumane, we believe is wrong. We ask the Democrats to stay sound, or like we say in Newark, hold the line on their issue. We don't think that they should falter, and we're not going to falter here in the state of New Jersey. Yes, ma'am.
Mayor Baraka, what specifically is the city prepared to do in terms of helping to protect these residents? ICE is essentially going to be targeting people who have deportation orders issued by judges. What can you do to protect them?
So one of the things that we're trying to do now is get information and education out to communities that are most vulnerable about what to do and how to respond, even the things that are rumor, all the way up into when we think an incident is going to happen. We are going to have those meetings. We're going to obviously rely heavily on the religious community that stands before us, behind us, our clergy, our imams, all of these folks to begin to reach out to the community and provide opportunity for them to get information, education, and sanctuary if necessary. But we're willing to help out. We're talking to our partners around providing legal counsel. So we're going to continue to do as much as we can to protect the residents here in our community. And we do think that they are residents, and we're going to treat them like residents. Last question from the press, please.
You kind of
Yes.
answered it, but
Yes.
if you could be more specific today,
Speak up. Speak up. I can't hear you. I'm sorry.
if you could be more specific today, what would you say to someone who knows they may be facing this kind of raid? You just said we're going to be talking about it, but it could happen sooner than later. What are you suggesting they do?
Well, one, I think that they should be in contact with, the legal community. They should contact the city of Newark. If they need any support, we can help them. They should make sure that they're informed about what they hear and not listen to rumors, not respond and react to things that may not be true. They should get the right information. And I would advise them, if they don't know what that information is, to contact us here at the city of Newark, contact their clergy, their pastor, their imam, who has direct contact with us here if they don't feel comfortable with contacting the city right away. Yep. Thank everybody for coming out. We appreciate it.